left minus, but again, Chris, what is it? All right.
Welcome, round 9 of the Intercontinental Rally Challenge, the 53rd running of the Rally San Remo. Mainstay of the IRC calendar, never fails to thrill. It's a classic rally, yes, contained within a 29-hour window. This is what's ahead of them. Yes, day 1 featuring 7 stages, 116.09 kilometres in total. Day 2, 2 loops of 3 stages in the hills of Langon, Telio and Doggia, both in 109.68 kilometres. Always busy, always entertaining, and so it has proved. Welcome to San Remo, classic rally. Yes, it's been here for an awful long time, and as a result there's been some great names have kind of passed through its hands, if that makes sense. A casino town, not that far from Monte Carlo, but with an Italian flavour. Food's better, that kind of thing. Not only that, the rallying is absolutely superb. Just like Monte, it always throws up some surprises and is a huge challenge. Well, the stars are here and so are the cars. Time then to check on the drivers' standings. Looks like this coming into San Remo. Yes, Kopetsky, our leader, 120 points. 17 behind is Loix with Hannanen, who doesn't have a full programme, on 98, with Neuville on 78, Bouffier 73. Or Guy Wilkes, just constantly ill fortune for him, finally gets the setup right. But if you saw yesterday, you'll know things haven't gone very well for him here again. Skoda, yes, they are the daddies at the moment in the manufacturer's standings. 315 is their total for now. And so, the opening day, and a rough one, I've got to tell you, for poor old Guy Wilkes. Col de Rodi getting us underway, 13.06 kilometres. Yes, unfortunately, trouble on stage 1, hit a bridge, end of the rally again for Wilkes.
On the recce, I deliberated over a corner whether we should cut it or whether we shouldn't, because there was a rock on the inside of the corner. It was right before a junction, very famous junction in the stage, and I decided, with all the luck we'd had in the previous rallies, that I wouldn't cut it, and that was to be the downfall. I didn't cut it. I stayed on the road, and I tried to turn in late, and there was dust on the road where the people had cut, and I hit this and understeered, and the car travelled straight, and we hit a barrier on the outside of the corner.
So what about Andreas Mikkelsen? Well, despite his crash in Hungary and lost the lead of that one on the penultimate stage, don't forget. Well, he doesn't know these stages terribly well, he says, but with Dario Esposito helping him out there, yes, tactically he's absolutely nailed it. Really wants his first victory in the IRC. Not just stage wins, wants to take a title here. Logically out there and going very well indeed very early on, as was Bouffier, like in Hungary. Brian Bouffier, the opener on day 1, knows that Peugeot really doesn't have a plan B. It's just flat out from now on in if they're going to be contenders in any of the championships. Feels confident though, says the 207. Always works well right here. It's a good start for the French driver as well. First stage, second best time behind Mikkelsen, only 2.9 seconds separating them. So what about stages 2 and 3? Berardo and Bignoni. Freddie Loix, fast Freddie to his friends and enemies alike. Yes, second in the IRC Championship, 17 points down on Kopetsky, as you've already seen. But yes, always a quick one, but starting slower here. But quick times in stages 2 and 3, so I'm climbing from 7th to the podium spots. 1.9 down on the leader. Thierry Neuville is the young blood from Belgium, as long in the tooth as Freddie is. Neuville, well, short in the tooth. You get what I mean. Peugeot counting on him to score big for manufacturers' standings. And after a third place on stage 1, second on 2, Yeah, he was just rocking, looking very comfortable. He's always so calm and delivers everything he needs to when he needs to. Yet again, looking very cool. Umberto Scandola, proving that local knowledge pays dividends in the M Sport Fiesta S2000. Yes, always tipped to rival the top boys here, and proving that he can do early on. Always in the top 5 on the timesheets. The Scandola and that M Sport Fiesta looking good. Heading back to service, 7 seconds down on the leader, 5th overall. Well, with Atkinson's retirement early on, Giandomenico Basso, the last Proton driver out there. Hoping for a good finish, naturally enough. Finishes 6th on stage 2, only 2.8 down, not bad at all. 8th overall after stage 3. Well, a car we're constantly wondering when the development program will reach its peak. It seems to be on a climb though, which is good. And so to the remainder of day 1, Andreas Mikkelsen again dominant from the start of the rally through 4, 5 and 6, not letting go. Fastest time again on the next 3 stages, but on 6 shared that glory with his nearest rival Neuville, who just seems to be polished.
So far it's looking very good. We were having a good pace also the second time through the stages, where we had struggled a bit time before, so I'm very happy with my performance so far.
Freddie Loix just 0.8 seconds slower than Mikkelsen on stage 5, moving up to 2nd overall. And in the competitive stage 6, Fast Freddie just 0.4 slower than Neuville and Mikkelsen, who were tied, you may remember, for this one. 4.5 seconds off Mikkelsen then overall in 6. Sounds proper, doesn't it, that Flemish? Thierry Neuville, yes, in his yellow Peugeot 207, losing 2nd spot, dropping to 3rd on 4, as you've heard, but the battle with the Belgians really hotting up, and just 0.9 between himself and Freddie. Matching the pace of Mikkelsen on 6 as well. That was a repeat of 3 in the morning, going toe-to-toe, those two. Neuville happy with progress. Jan Kapetsky, yes, changes he made in service, obviously working, fighting back, clawing back time in the rally, just getting quicker and quicker. On 4, just 0.9 off Mikkelsen, gaining a place overall, but only up to 5th after his slow start, but not showing his full potential on tarmac here in San Remo, that's for sure. Heading back to the regroup, 5th overall, 20.5 seconds off Mikkelsen, and very disappointed about that, no doubt. So, night time, stage 7. 44 kilometers to deal with. Freddie Loix, yes, enormous experience in the San Remo, and his experience showed 7.2 seconds faster than the rest after Rond, snatching the overall lead. Now 2.7 seconds, the cushion.
Yeah, it's not bad, but I think there are still some people behind us, and maybe Andreas have been making mistakes, so we never know.
Admittedly struggling in the night stages of Rond. Mikkelsen, not used to seeing him that much off the pace, losing his overall lead. 2.7 seconds, as we mentioned. Can he take it back? It's a big question.
First day has been really good, you know, leading from the first stage, and okay, the guys are coming really quick now from behind, but I'm happy with my day, so yeah, nothing to complain about.
Overheating brakes, the reason for Thierry Neuville not shining as brightly as he might have done. 15.7 seconds off the leader in the night stage and maintaining his overall 3rd, but now 16.6 seconds separating him and Freddie Loix. Not a situation he's too keen. One of the first stages it was pretty good, but you know, that's only part of the story, and we've just lost too much time late on. Giandomenico Basso in the dry conditions, matching the dry markers, and he was on his marks as well. Car's intercom failed though, unable to hear the instructions of his navigator, Mitya Dutta, and that huge hamper. Big damage to his car. after this. Managed to get back to service and will continue. Major disappointment though for the Italian. Plummets to 14th overall as a result. Fast Freddy on top. Look at that. Look to McClott. Leaders by 2.7 after the night. So what did the dawn bring? You'll have to stay with us to find out. Tomorrow is another day. Well, it's today actually. Stage 8, and taking the fastest time on the opener, Thierry Neuville. His second, indeed, of the rally. Yes, this, though, what he had to deal with, and the rest of them. A focused man. Different specs for different occasions. So, claimed back 4 seconds from that infamous stage the night before. Now just 12.6 from the rally lead. It's what Neuville's all about. He looks so calm. He's quite unbelievable, to be honest. When you talk to him, yeah, he just oozes confidence. Never looks flustered, never looks overly upset. Same can be said for Andreas Mikkelsen. Two young stars in the firmament. Mikkelsen starting second on the road behind Loix. Didn't seem to affect him too badly, that. Yes, chasing down a great man like Loix. Grist to the mill. Second fastest on the stage was Mikkelsen. Just 1.3 seconds slower than Neuville. And he claims back the overall lead of the rally. Loix 2 seconds behind him. So chops and changes at the top. Just how close would this one be? Well, Freddie Loix was out there to show us. Opening driver on day 2. Seems to be becoming a pattern for Freddie Loix. Never fast on the first stage of the day, and then warms up dramatically on stage 8. He was 6 seconds off the pace. Amazing after the night before. So everyone hoping he would wake up rather quickly. Losing his overall lead. Trailing Mikkelsen, as we said, by 2 seconds. Neuville a further 10 seconds behind him. Neuville then battling back on stage 9. A real fight on our hands here. San Remo always providing a glorious backdrop to some real superb rallying, and that's what we were getting. Neuville claiming another fastest time, further reducing his deficit. Now 4.9 seconds off the lead. That is an incredible 8 seconds reclaimed over 18.8 kilometres of the stage. Unbelievable. Passo Teglia will live long in his memory. Brian Bouffier, also in a Peugeot. Yes, and perhaps this stage suited to the Peugeots because the Skodas seem to be just off the pace a little bit. Bouffier just 1.1 seconds slower than Thierry on this stage, closing his gap to 10 seconds from the leader. So all looking a bit ominous up front. Yes, real compression, it seems, of those with talent, and there's plenty of those about. Just look at this on board. Scary stuff. Least frightened, maybe, Freddie Loix. Third on the stage, but proving perhaps the Skodas are not so well suited to the stage. 7 seconds off the pace. Question of balance, perhaps. Andreas Mikkelsen also in the chase, naturally enough. Another of the slowing Skodas. Surprised to see him only 4th fastest on the stage, 7.7 off Neuville. No problems reported on the car, just difficulties trying to find the pace. Maintains the lead, but yeah, it's been shaved down to 1.3 seconds. Competition hodding up. Mikkelsen needing to keep his head to control the rally and not lose it under the pressure. On to 10 then. Freddie Loix knew that he could do something here. Yeah, it's taking a lot of pressure to the fight with the others, and yeah, that battle with Mikkelsen. Second loop, very interesting. And the first stage of the day for Loix. 4th of the rally, taking the stage by a 7-second margin and taking the lead back. Goodness me, toe-to-toe stuff.
I think I have to go flat out like I did on the last stage, and trying to do some best times, because at the moment you can be first, but on the same story you can be third, so we have to push as hell.
Well, they made some changes in the car at the service park in the morning. Mikkelsen made some good changes to the car. A little bit bumpy, he said, but yeah, they changed it by midday. I was able to push her a little harder. Everything under control. He remained calm. Fifth on the stage.
To win, you know, that's what I'm born to do. So, so yeah. But if we're second or third or even a podium, is really good for us, really. On these technical roads, I've done an improvement throughout this rally, so I'm really happy with my performance. So if it's first, second or third, I'm happy either way, but of course first would always taste really nice.
Alarm bells went off for Thierry Neuville on the stage. Turned in a little bit too wide, lost time. Not enough to leave the road though. Everything under control, he said. Happy on his times and feeling good, but second time on the stage. 8/10 down the gap. Yes, reminds him of something, I think. Hungary. We don't want to talk about it. Well, he does. So you're sure the same situation as Hungary here? You and it seems Mikkelsen and Kopecky. It's going to be a real battle out there. It's sure. Hungary was tough, and yeah, we just got to make sure that we take the next step. Service Park, always an interesting place to be. If you ever get to go to a rally and walk around, it is a very, very intense place. You can get close in the IRC though. Scenario, same for all teams though. Drivers having to regain focus. Concentration, serenity, control. That's what it's all about. So what about the standings as we go? It's tight. Loix leading by 2.5 seconds. Neuville 4.4 off the leader. Bouffier not out of it either. Kopecky 35 off the pace. Probably over and done with, but the top four could easily take this. We'll have the second loop for you in a moment. Fast Freddie Loix, first one to run on stage 11. Difficult roads. Second loop of the day on the same morning. Well, even the most experienced drivers can make mistakes, and sadly, that's exactly what happened to Freddie Loix. Col Langan, 20.57 kilometers. He didn't finish them all.
I went off in a stage and quite high speed, and I just went a little bit too far to the exit, to the outside, took a little bit gravel and then hit in the wall inside, and okay, I was very lucky because it was on the top of the mountain, and the car spins a few times with hitting the wall and some things, but I stay on the road, so it was bad luck with a lot of luck.
We know what you mean, Freddie. Nobody else completed stage 11 cancelled because of the blockage. So they drove on to 12. Back in competition without Loix, of course, Thierry Neuville. Yes, knowing that he had to push hard to finish second, like the rally in Hungary. Mark van Dalen told him to push to the absolute max, and he did on stage 12. Took it, third stage of the day, fourth of the rally, recovering the lead by just 0.3 seconds. It looks like another Hungary on the cards. Loix's exit meant Mikkelsen back in front with 2 stages remaining. Having to be careful though, the Belgian driver close at hand. Only 2.2 seconds lost on 12, and Mikkelsen lets the lead go. Last stage is going to be very, very tough. So, stage 13, Col Dodgia. Aptly named, perhaps. The Dodgy Mountain. Well, no choice for the Norwegian if he wants to win. Mikkelsen had to push hard, and he did, but not enough. Finishing the stage second behind Neuville, 1.2 seconds separating them. And again, not going to make the top step. Once again, victory slipping from his hands. Improved an awful lot on asphalt, in particular this season. Oh, success, it can't be surely that far away.
9 seconds faster than the first lap.
Yes, so okay, we went for it, but if it's enough, I don't know, but we wait and see.
No choice for Neuville. If he didn't want to finish second step, he had to push hard and avoid mistakes. And this time, he did it. Taking it 1.2 ahead. Margin of victory, 1.5. Unbelievable. An incredible end to the rally. Was it ever not thus, it seems? Fourth time in the IRC rally in 2011 that we have had less than 2 seconds separating first and second. Well, it's incredible. We were flat out all the time. We slipped furiously all over the place. I'm so happy. What a battle. Excellent driver. Huge pleasure for me. Good boy. Second win for Neuville this year after Corsica. And the victory in Hungary slipped out of his hands, but that made this feel all the sweeter, perhaps. So, Belgium blowing hot and cold, perhaps. Brian Bouffier of France in the 207 prefers winning, but happy to finish third. Couldn't have done any better, he says. Two furious drivers battling toe-to-toe up in front of him, and he just couldn't get there in the end. Third on the stage, finishing third overall, 16 seconds down on Mikkelsen. And what about Jan Kopecki? Well, he also not so certain of himself here. Did the best he could on these very technical roads. 7th time on stage 13. 4th overall, but 1 minute and 9 seconds down.
Okay, you are right. This weekend was not good for us. I think this can happen in the rally, that you cannot find the correct speed during the weekend, and that was our problem.
Well, enough though to keep the Skoda boys happy. Kopecki still leading the Drivers' Championship, don't forget. Bruno Megalesh pretty happy as well with his first day. Hope to continue that well on day 2, and he did. Happy with the car and the setup, gaining in confidence and continuing to improve on his notes and their delivery. Unfortunately for him, the season is now over due to a lack of budget. But he showed here that he's a strong driver, and he's optimistic of getting some funding to take part in the IRC next year. Let's hope so. Alessandro Perico. Difficult rally for him. Started the rally 12th overall. On 2, fell to 27th, don't forget. Stage 2, that is. And all the drivers had tenths between them on the first loop. Stage by stage, though, he was climbing overall. And the local driver, one of the drivers who gained a lot of positions, started day 2 in 8th place, finished 6th, the lead Italian driver in front of Scandola. What about Scandola? Well, Umberto, one of the favourites here amongst the locals on board his Ford Fiesta. Yes, since the beginning he showed other drivers had to count on seeing him hovering around about 5th overall. Everything was okay. Fought with Megalesh for 6th down there until stage 10, when the Portuguese driver got the better of him. The Italian suffered a problem with his steering, unfortunately, and finished the rally 7th. 4 minutes and 5 off the lead. Pierre Campana, yes, very happy to be back in the IRC, thanks to Peugeot support, and well, really wanted to do something after some good results in Corsica. And well, he was very confident at the end of day 1. Thought he could recover and maybe get a top 10 finish. Disappointed though in the end to be 9th overall, because with those going out ahead of him, thought he could possibly get even higher. Finished 8th, I should say, on the rally. 9th on that last stage, and happy nonetheless. So what about the Production Cup? Florian Gonon in the Subaru Impreza. Strong leader for the whole of day 1. Continues that domination on 2 and won all the stages on the second day. Unbelievable. Logically, he led from stage 1 to 13. And the Production Cup standings, increasing his lead with the victory. Marco Cavignoli, well, like on day 1, collected lots of second places, and it continued. Busy out there, keeping second place. 2 minutes and 45 seconds, though, separating Gonon and Caviglioli. That is a pretty big margin and really showed the dominance that Gonon had. Confirmation of that. Boll and Morrissey keeping the Irish end up 5 minutes and 13 down, but getting a podium in the Production Cup. Marvellous. In the two-wheel drive cup, David Medici started day 2 as leader in the class, won 4 stages, increased his lead, and indeed the winning margin in the two-wheel drive, 48 seconds. Stefano Albertini was on the chase though in his Honda Civic Type R. Got to the top 3 in the rankings on the second loop. Wasn't a threat to second place overall with a good result, but taking the two-wheel drive standings lead, moving past Jean-Michel Rao, who finished 14th. Pierre-Antoine Guglielmi in the Renault Clio R3 started the day second, always finished in the top 3 on the stages. Third overall in the end, a minute and 7 down. Medici then victorious here. The margin 48.9 seconds. Well, another very tough rally and another decisive final stage run. Unbelievable. Yes, the happiness there for all to see. Fantastic. Thierry Neuville taking this one. 1.5 seconds, the winning margin over Andreas Mikkelsen. And as we mentioned previously, the 4th time in the IRC rally this year, the championship, that we have seen an event finish by a margin of less than 2 seconds. The 4th occasion. Amazing. Shows you just how hard fought it is, and it'll be going on like this in Scotland. We will be there. If you're going, then come along and say hello to myself, Carlton Kirby, and of course Andrew Coley will be alongside riding shotgun. Kopetsky then, 128 points, did the job finishing 4th. Freddie Loix, sad he didn't manage to snatch the lead, which of course victory could well have done for him. There's the remainder. Guy Wilkes, ill fortune just seems to dog him, doesn't matter what he does. Let's hope Scotland provides some joy. Skoda, then our championship leaders, ahead of Peugeot, M Sport, Rally Art Subaru, Proton Honda and Abarth. So we're off to Scotland. Yes, gravel stages through closed forest roads in the centre of Scotland. The event, known for its endless crests, climbs, descents, sharp drops, tight junctions, off-camber corners, tree-lined straights. Uncertain weather conditions also add to the mix. Well, we look forward to seeing you there. We will be there, and hope you will join us as well. Thanks for following us. Don't forget, you can see the review tomorrow night, same time, of all the proceedings that have gone on here at San Remo. It's been a pleasure to have your company. We'll see you tomorrow. And then, of course, in Scotland.